Hey guys, welcome to another video on Bharat in Germany. My name is Bharat, and in this video, we have a super nice collaboration with Indian Girl in Europe. And from there, we have Surbi and Deepak. They're both going to share their experiences on how they found a job in English in Germany. So you can learn a few things there, some tips and so on. And take a look at the YouTube videos that they make because they have also covered very informational topics like that previously. I'm making this intro like this because the main video that I recorded, I'm in a bad habit of keeping my camera clean. So I just deleted that clip previously off my side. So you will see a lot more of their screen and their side of the things than ours. Huh? But in general, as long as you're getting the information, you're learning something. I think that's the main goal. And this is what we want to accomplish from this video. So don't forget to take a look at their channel. And I'm going to start the video now. Welcome, Surbi, Deepak. For the people who are new, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Give us some introduction and then we jump into the questions.
So I just came. So my husband got job here in Germany from India. Yeah, that's an important thing to mention. And then as a crawling wife, I just came here with him. And then my real struggle for finding a job started here. But I belong to fashion industry. I have done 5 years job in India, and then also I am an engineer, and also I've done masters of fashion technology from NIFT, so National Institute of Fashion Technology. So yeah, that's about me, and I love to travel, and yeah, that's about me. You can.
And yeah, first of all, Bharat, I find myself lucky to be with you on this conversation and really glad to talk to you. My name is Deepak, and basically I have done my mechanical engineering, and I'm working here in a company as an automotive design engineer. And yeah, this is some brief introduction of me.
Tell you, I think you would be the favorite guy right now, for anybody who wants to come to Germany because everybody wants to come for something related to automotive and stuff. So I think let's go into a bit more detail when we're talking about the
Yes,
finding
yes.
job part. So this is very interesting because Surbi right now shared that you found a job directly from India in Germany. Can you tell us a bit more?
Okay, so actually, I have always dreamt, working outside India like many others in India. Okay, so as I did my mechanical engineering, after finishing my mechanical engineering, I had no idea what to do, in which direction should I go. I just simply went for the placements, got a job. It was a very reputed company. I was working in a production department, but I had a dream to work outside India, to be more in the design field. And this is where these two countries are really famous, Japan and Germany. So that was my dream, to be in one of these countries. So this then how I started, what I did some research and find out that I need to learn some tools, some specific programs I have to do, to get into this particular domain. Then I left my job and I started doing some tools and programs, and I did I spent quite around 6 to 7 months on learning on these programs. I wish if I knew it in earlier, I would have done it along with my studies. So this was a phase when I prepared myself, that how I should get into the design domain. After doing this, I got a job in India. I worked there for around 6 years in Bangalore, and I was in design domain, and it was a very very fun journey for me. And there I prepared myself to be, to go outside and how to, get into the design domain completely. I got some opportunities also in between. I went to Japan for some few years. I worked there. Then I came back, and then I started getting more opportunities to work outside. So this was very interesting part. I was already looking for the jobs outside India as well. So what happened? I was sitting with one of my friend in the office, and we were just simply having coffee. And my friend got a call, and he went. He attended the call, came back, and he said that, "Oh my God, I missed the opportunity." I said, "What happened, man?" So he told me that I got a call from Germany and there's a job which is relevant to our experience, but they want someone who can join within 1 month. And fortunately, I was, looking for the job. I was on notice period and I was ready to join within 1 month. So I asked them to give me the number. I called these guys and they said, "Okay, send your profile." I sent them my profile and they said, "Okay, your profile matches the requirement, and you can join within 1 month also." So that was a really good thing for them also, for me also. And this is how it all started. Then of course few rounds of the interview took place, all happened with the online process and everything. And within 1 month, I think after 1 month, I was here in Germany. So it was very quick. It was very quick for me, and so I would say definitely I was lucky because I was trying since long time. But yeah, this is how I got this opportunity. But yeah, I prepared myself for this since long. Doing all these courses, moving into the design field, doing research. How would I get what kind of the jobs will be there in Germany? So I did all these things since last 6 7 years. But yeah, luckily I got this opportunity, and this is how I landed here.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Deepak, but like I feel like that your like time when you moved to Japan to work, like maybe that really added to like let's say the Germans like really wanting you to like come over and like start working in Germany, because I know that Germans, the only culture that they really respect is the Japanese culture because of their work ethics. So like, do you also feel the same?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Working in Japan really helped me also to get the job here because end of the day it adds that extra experience, international experience, and especially working in Japan. It was totally different, believe me, Bharat. I was so much afraid coming to Germany because I worked in Japan for some time, and their working culture is totally different. They are never satisfied. They are never satisfied. I have worked there for 24 hours many times. Going in the morning 6 a.m. and finishing next day 6 a.m. And there's no life other than work in Japan. They are very much serious about the work. So when I got here, these people also asked me that, okay, you have worked in Japan, so you might be having good experience. So that was, of course, one plus point. But I was so much afraid coming to Germany that maybe if I have to experience the same thing, how would it be? But when I landed here, the work culture is totally different here in Germany as compared to Japan. Here it's more like, work-life balance is really good. People, spend more time, the equal, they give the equal, importance to their personal life also, to their professional life also. So that was a really good, you could say that it was a kind of a brownie point for me also to work in this Japan. That was definitely added.
Here, let's say, did you find more people, Deepak, in your domain, like also coming directly from India, or like is it not so often? So like is finding a job directly from India in Germany without German proficiency like common? Have you seen more people around you with that?
No, Bharat, I would say it's not very common, especially in my domain. I have not seen much people, very less people I have seen who have got directly job. It's not that easy also. I can say there are some examples who have got this opportunity like me, okay, but it's a kind of the tough job. People have to go through a standard process. They have to know about everything. For example, if I say kind of the profile, how you have to prepare a profile, language proficiency, work culture, how to apply for the jobs. So people should know about that. Really, it's really important. One in 100 person can get this opportunity, getting directly job from India, but doesn't happen very rare. Doesn't happen very rare.
But I should mention something here, like if someone is preparing, like if they are preparing for German, maybe B2 level of proficiency, and then they can get job, or they can prepare, they know the process. Okay, this should be the resume format, this should
Yeah.
be the CV
Yeah.
format, and then I have to learn German because my profile demands that level of proficiency. Then I think it would be easy, but I think it will require time and also so much skills to add from India and then apply here, and then there are chances, I would say that.
Yeah, of course, there is a kind of a certain path which you need to follow, right? As I said, that standard process and knowing the culture, knowing the system, how it works here, and of course, you have to get the opportunity also at the same time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything should fall in line. Yeah, but to answer to your question, it's not that very common to get directly job, especially in my domain.
Totally understand, because I know, so Deepak, I'm from civil engineering background. Like I don't know, somehow
Okay.
like everybody
Okay.
just like ends up like in mechanical or civil most of the times. So I know from my field that like if you are not used to the Euro codes, so in India we have the IS codes that we use for designing steel structures or reinforced concrete structures and so on. Need to be able to communicate with the local German public authorities, like in the paperwork is in German completely. All of the calculations and everything like generally is like done in German.
Yeah.
So like in some
Yeah.
fields it is very important that you know German, because otherwise you will definitely not get a job here. So like, and I think like in your case, it was very good that you had work experience already. But like, for people who are just like graduating without any work experience, it is very, very difficult. In that case, like it does make sense. Like Surbi said, you learn German till B2 or something, you take some work experience, or you directly come for a master's. I think like that's also a very plausible option that you can take. And Surbi, how was it for you? Like, you're also like going in a completely
Yeah,
different domain. So how did it work
yeah,
out?
I don't know you know that or not, but I belong to fashion industry and I work with German brand, one of the most well-known German brand here. It was a difficult journey for me. It took me so much time because I have learned German and then I started my job. And finally, my job is in English, so so that's also something I should mention. Although I have learned German, but still my job is in English. So how I started, I will tell you. So when I came here, uh, I searched some of the jobs and I got interview calls also, but I was not getting a proper, I would say, a profile or a proper role for me which is relevant or and also which I wanted to do it. Then what happened is I thought, let me do my German skills, let me study German because it's also very important in Germany. I think maybe at certain time you have to learn, and we were living in a very small town in Germany where nobody knows English, and that time it was really difficult times for us. One time Deepak was not like he was unwell and we wanted to go to doctor.
yeah.
And at that point of time, receptionist was like, she was not able to communicate in English, and that was a very difficult time for me. And that moment I thought, okay, for job it is important, but for the personal living here comfortably in Germany, that is important. So I started my integration course. I have done the B1 and then B2, and in between I also applied for the jobs. I would say resume selection is something which is very important, and this is the first step. You should know how your resume will be selected. You should apply the most relevant profiles. That is also important. For example, I will tell you, first I got the interview call. I applied for the internship position. I got rejected. Then the junior profile, I got rejected. The most senior profile, I got rejected. And the mid senior level one, which was the most relevant for me, and then I got selected. So I was aware of this resume selection funda. I knew that okay, you have to build up a proper cover letter, motivation letter, which will tell you are very motivated for that particular role. Your resume should be proper, just a one pager resume, but it should communicate more. But the most relevant one, which was for me, I got selected. So that's what my journey was. Also for interview tips, also I would wanted to tell your audience that here the interview processes are very different. It's not
Yeah.
like in India, where like recruiter thinks that you should know everything. Here, if you don't know anything, you can say that I don't know, I've not worked previously in this particular thing. So that's okay to say no. And that's what I understood after giving so many interviews. So for my first interview was, oh, okay, I know that because my like behavior was the same as was in India. So it was very difficult to like move from
Yeah.
that particular environment to here. And then also it's important to wear a proper clothing, which is very relevant. Like that's also important. You should not be loud with your makeup, especially I'm telling to the girls. So these things are very much important. Also, how friendly you are and how motivated you are for that particular profile. That's something very important. And I think yeah, I've done that, but it is something I really wanted to tell.
No, that's actually very good tip because I also saw
I
it
will
like
quickly
multiple
pick
times
up that.
when I was like coming here for my masters. I was also like applying for some part-time jobs and stuff, and every single time I thought that the interview went fine, but it didn't go fine because like I received a rejection afterwards. And like what they always try to do is like they don't go towards like asking you the definitions and things like that. They just want to learn more about what kind of things you've done in the past, and they just like kind of dig in and like see how much of it do you know, what kind of stuff have you done. And like I think that really fit well. And Deepak, how was your experience? Because you told me you had like multiple rounds of interviews. Can you like go into a bit more details there too?
Yeah, yeah, of course, Bharat. So what I have, learned being here in Germany for I've been here around 3 years now, working here, understanding the culture and experience, during the interview process and everything. What happens here? These people don't care that how much the extra things okay, it's all about that particular profile, what they are looking for, how much experience you have in that, and it's not about the theoretical knowledge, it's more about the practical knowledge, how you apply your ideas, how open you are with your ideas, and how passionate about you are for that particular profile or the product. So of course they would, what you would say, they would only ask you that only, they would not go here and there. So of course, knowing about that tool, and plus product domain, what kind of the product I am, what kind of the product I was working on. So of course having the proper detailed knowledge of your work is really important. So I would tell them, okay, I know these technologies, this particular product, this tool, and that only they will ask, but they will ask in detail. They want you to justify your answers. Okay, answers, for example, if I say something, okay, that I have achieved this in this project, it's not that okay, your answer is over. You need to justify it with some examples, that how you did it. You have to prove. And it's not like that, okay, it has to be some major achievement. Okay, everyone doesn't have, it's a teamwork basically in any job. So one person cannot be hero. So what happens, what kind of psychology I had, that in India, whenever I used to go for interview, I would like to project myself that I know a lot of things, I know many things. Of course, in team, six people are working, so that doesn't mean that I would know equal to the six people. But here it doesn't work like that. It's about you only, that how much you know, what you have done, the small kind of the achievements which you have achieved. Justify them with the examples. What kind of the benefit you gave to the team, what kind of the benefits you brought to the project, what small ideas you implemented. So it has to be everything practical, and we need to justify. So that was a totally different approach in the in the interview process, which I experienced in India.
That's very nice. And let's talk about like some of the work culture differences, because I think Surbi and Deepak, you both will have an idea there. So like how is working in Germany now different than working in India?
I will start with this because this is my first European company, and I worked whole my life in India. Whole my life means 5 years in India, and then I suddenly started job here without knowing anything how the European companies works. For me, it was really difficult to say no. When someone asks, okay, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? I say normally, yeah, I will, because this is a very
This is
common in
in
India.
maintenance.
Yeah, in winters, I cannot say no. And then someone asks, okay, have you done this training? Yes, 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 yes. But it's okay. You can plan your everything. Okay, I will do in this month this particular thing, the next month this thing. And if my time doesn't suits to that work, I can say no, I cannot do this in this week. Maybe I can do this next week. I can postpone that. So when I worked, I realized that it's okay. You can plan and you can communicate. So here, very important is to communicate, and that's not what we does. Like, we have a very casual behavior, and we say that okay, we will do it, but we doesn't mean that we will do it. But here it's very important, if you are communicating something, that time, that particular moment, you have to do that. And that's the expectations of like the whole company. So that this is the first.
Yeah. So I think similar kind of the experience I also have. But yeah, there are few differences which are really important, to highlight. For example, these people are very straightforward. Okay, so working here, if I have taken some responsibility, I have to bear all the consequences. Something goes wrong, it has to be my responsibility. Something goes good, I will be appreciated. Which was missing in India. There are chances that okay, if I had very good terms with my boss, he will cover it up. But here it doesn't work. So this, even I remember one incident in my office. One of my colleague here, he's the German guy. He was having conference with the Indian team in India, and he asked some questions very very openly that whose mistake was it, and he asked this question 5 or 6 times, but no one replied. And there were around 6 people. Everyone was, sitting calm, and no one saying anything. Then he came to me after the meeting, and he asked me, "I just want to ask you about something about Indian culture." I said, "Ask me." He said, "People don't take names in meetings if they made some mistake. Like, is it common in India?" I said, "Yeah, but like people, don't like to blame directly. This is true, right, Bharat? We don't blame someone on face. We don't say, okay, this was your mistake, because of you this happened. This is a common. We care, we don't want to hurt. So this is what happens.
It will be reflected in your appraisal.
Yeah. So no, just we care also. Sometimes we really don't want to hurt someone, so we say okay. But here it's very very straightforward. People would say.
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to add this, like, like for example, I and
No,
Alina,
no,
we take
that's
care of
okay.
our, like, employees, and we have 10 employees right now. Alina's way of communicating is so much different. She's like, like when I ask a particular thing, like, and somebody says yes, they're supposed to do it right then. But for others, it's like, yeah, we will do it later and things like that. And the same, like,
Yes.
this direct tone, for example,
Yeah.
even makes me uncomfortable. And I'm like, Alina, like, chill out. Like, there's a way of speaking. But she's like, no, but we are working right now. And Alina is like, it's better. Like, it's direct. So I think this is definitely a huge culture shock that you very nicely,
And there's one more thing about the communication also. The communication these people expect to be very clear. If I commit anything, if I take any responsibility, I have to handle it completely. And it's not like something, okay, I can carry forward to some other person. Okay, you just take care of. I am overloaded. So, and one more thing, Bharat, these people are very straightforward. When I say these people, I'm just talking about the German culture. I'm not means like, just generally I'm talking about the culture here. So in office, it's not like that someone is junior or any guy who came recently. You can always expect no from him here, but in India it doesn't happen. In India, it really doesn't happen. The person who has joined the company newly, he would shy so much for saying no to any task, whether he has to push extra, he has to stay for 1 hour 2 hour extra in the office. But here it doesn't happen. The person who has joined today will come in the evening and say, my time is over, I'm leaving, I cannot do this work today. So that's also a different thing, which is good, which is really good, but it's different to us.
One more thing, like your project responsibility is your responsibility, but in India, your project responsibility is your senior most person in that company. So that's also very different here.
Yeah.
You are responsible for direct job, so no one is in between there. So that's also something very
Yes,
different.
these are some few things different. There are really good things happening in Indian culture also, and there are some really good things happening here also. But these are something which are different, which was shocking for me sometimes.
No, absolutely. I think like you guys like put it better than like most of the other people I've talked to, because like for example, like Surbi directly saying that like if somebody says yes, then they're expected to do that thing right away. And also this thing of like in our Indian culture we try to like avoid conflict.
Yes,
So like
yeah.
it's not nice to like have some kind of fight whatsoever, and that's why like people also don't like point fingers
Yes.
generally when like things like these happen. I think
Right.
these two are like very, very good cultural shocks that like you've portrayed.
Yeah.
And Deepak and Surbi, any other tips or advices you would have for the viewers who are thinking about coming for a job or like applying for a job and so on?
Okay, I have few points to add here. The very first thing I would recommend that prepare yourself. Okay, do the research, prepare yourself well, learn language, very very important, very much important. If you get the job also, definitely after coming here you will have to learn to stay, to lead a good life here. So German language is very important. It cannot be ignored. Second thing, research has to be done well in advance. No casual behavior will be considered here. So people has to be very serious for whatever they do. And then, yeah, of course, I think these two things which I would definitely recommend.
I will also recommend, like from the LinkedIn, I used to get the direct recruiter mails to apply a job. That's also a different, very important, where you can be active in LinkedIn and search the relevant recruiter and ask them if they require someone from India, if they are. So that's also important, because I used to get so many mails, and maybe my profile suits here or whatever is the reason, but from the LinkedIn and from direct company website, if someone will apply, then there will be chances. The only thing will happen, they will get the rejection mail, but maybe sometime they will get the accepted mail also, so
Yeah,
that can
so I
also.
think basically overall, I would like to say that it's really important to know the process, to understand the system. Like, I have seen a lot of people asking us this question that they are coming for the job seekers visa. They land up here in Germany, and then they'll start, knowing the culture. They will start, realizing that what they have to do. It takes minimum 1 year to understand them. And so in that case, it's really important, being in India, if you are searching for the job, get a good guidance. Okay, you should always get a good guidance, how to go with the process. You should understand everything before coming here. It will definitely save the money, save the time, and save the energy.
And also the resume format, writing your resume yourself, I would suggest, but you should know what to write.
Yeah,
That's
that's
important,
important.
and the format is really important. And cover letter, I think India, people don't know what is cover
Yes.
letter, because we generally don't send that cover letter with in our application. So that's also important to know in cover letter what you should write, and that's the game changer for anyone, I would.
Yes, absolutely. I think like these are some very, very good tips. And the important thing is, guys, that anybody who is watching this video right now, they've also made more videos about how do you find jobs in Germany and things like that on their channel. So I'm going to like put the link of few of those specific videos also in the description. So take a look at that. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to their channel. Thank you so much, Deepak and Surbi, for coming and sharing your experiences. I think these were like very helpful tips that you gave. And now I'll see you guys on your channel. Bye.